Hello, sorry for the noise going on in the background. If you hear it, that's, I believe, the refrigerator. Otherwise, today should be day 68 as I just checked. So you can see my writing quality isn't the best right now, so we'll be taking it a bit slower. I'll need to practice my numbers sooner or later. Also, sorry for not turning the camera correctly. I just came back from dinner. Unsure if that's what's affecting the writing caliber currently. I think it's one of the factors, not the only one. It's also earlier than usual. I believe it's about 8:30 p.m. right now where I am at. Basically, I just wanted to get this out of the way before I went to studying because I have a final tomorrow. I believe it's from noon to afternoon. And it will not be good if I don't at least look at my material a little bit. So it'll just be alphabet and then studying. And to say, that's not the correct way to say, to repeat myself. Is that an idiomatic phrase? To repeat myself, I need to restart practicing numbers. As you can see, my curves are choppy. Hopefully they will dissipate in the ensuing practice. And we'll start with the lowercase letters first. Just so we don't introduce confounding into our muscle memory. I remember reading, I believe it was for a state test. Either a state test for New York State, or for SAT practice. There was an article stating that that's not the, what's the word? Sheer repetition, sheer in this case being defined as pure. Sheer repetition in static sequential order leads to faster results in the short term and better retention in the short term, but worse retention in the long term. That staggering results in slower progress. Or varying practice order and methods leads to overall slower progress, but overall better retention over long term. And since we are not trying to adopt non-dominant handwriting in the short term, we are obviously going to pursue the latter practice. I'm also going to try and adopt the practice of deciding on the quality of the letter based on how good it felt to write it as well. Because if it felt good, but the motions didn't feel right, then I'll carry that perception into future writings of the letter, which I am kind of doing right now. as you can see from how jagged the tails of my J's are, or were. And now I need to try and attempt to fix them, which is not quite going well, which means I need to go slower. Is this time I probably shouldn't be spending on this task? In terms of doing well in my classes, no. But I actually think that I value this more than my numerical grades, or my transcript rather. Okay, I like the motions I'm starting to imitate even would work here. Okay, I'll leave it at that. That was at least 5 in a row. Almost good, but not quite, so we are now stuck practicing this probably for a good while. There's a threshold for which M's are passable, of passable form. And compared to my normal standard, my threshold for M's is actually quite lenient. So it's a little annoying to be stuck on these for so long. But better to be stuck on them now and dispel the bad habits than to spend even more time later on trying to remove them. Maybe, it depends, because what I'm now also factoring into the equation is at what point in time does investment now fail to supersede corrections later? Because it's not worth it to while away at this when there are pretty clear applications in my head I want to use these for. That did not feel good. It also does not quite look good. We're just gonna be here a while. A bit late in protruding. This is okay-ish. First mound is not symmetrical. This one, the second mound, was flatly bad. One. What really bothers me about the letter M is that the curve set used for it also belong to H and N. So if this letter does not go well, it bodes worse. Well, it bodes badly for the letter N as well, while the letter H just remains passed upon up top, up above. I believe the preposition is the correct word form used here. Getting lazy. Not good. Because that's time wasted. Better focus. That M was okay. This one's acceptable because it felt well. That's 5. Not ideal, but this is why we need to return to this another day. That last one was bad. Streak started. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'll restart it again because that streak did not look anywhere near the quality I was hoping for. Accepting good enough is very dangerous. It's a very dangerous game to play. Between efficiency, hedging against tomorrow / the future, and risk of deterioration of quality through default of attention. O normally poses little, if any, problem. Mainly because I just flatly don't have too much grievance against it. My standards for it aren't particularly high. But I think the actual standard for a proper O would be a symmetrical ellipse / circle, which is incredibly difficult to do. And I am unsure how far I would pursue such a practice on paper. I know this is a problem. It's alright. Ish. I will return to it. My T's are slanted incorrectly. They're wrong. They're slanting. They're not slanting horizontally, which is what I require. Right now I'm trying to angle them upwards and they look more perpendicular than when I was trying to angle them perpendicularly. Never a good sign. Does not feel comfortable. We'll do 5 in a row. By the way, this is only the lowercase letters, which is ironic. Man. Man, I don't recall having this much difficulty with this letter before. Okay, that's not my fault. Sorry, but the letter is written blood length right out. Do I really not have more lead? Incredible. Wait here. I need not lead from the same brand as the pencil, but lead nonetheless. I'll take those actually, not terrible. Even more reason to not let those go easy. That's if in practice it goes well, but then in application it doesn't. We need to re-investigate. Okay. I'll have to take that. We're spending way too much time. I think I figured out why. I'm gonna practice every letter 5 times. I'm gonna require a quota of a streak of 5 legible letters in a row, starting around holiday time. I'll write it down so that's easier to find later. Freak. I love how the tail of the Q is posing so many difficulties for me. It's honestly not that complex. Can't see the letters, but they feel right and they look. The reflection of the graphite looks fine, so I'll accept them. How does it look? Not good. To facilitate speed, it shouldn't feel like there's any coarseness to the stroke. That was lazy. Okay, not bad. No, not ideal. Okay, capital Y's are difficult. That's been duly noted. Makes you really envy those who are born with natural handwriting talent. It's fine though. I think legibility is the most important thing for sheer handwriting for me for now. And I can just practice this stuff. Here's a letter to practice.